be 10, 15, 20%. So what I did was, at that time when I was on the faculty, I wrote my first book called Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About College, because I know a lot about college and I know a lot of people who were curious and confused about it. So I said, okay, I can help some parents with this, right? And I did some other stuff, and I would give little speeches and stuff like that. I wasn't making a lot of money. Wasn't making any, like, it was literally just like an amount of money that's almost nothing, 20 years later. But when I tell you that that little $2,000 a month made all the difference in the world, I am not kidding with you. Like, you think about it, right? My wife and I have a decent house. It's not a mansion, but it's big. It's 6,000 square feet, but it's not we don't live fancy, but we live comfortable. And this house, our mortgage is about 2,500 dollars a month. Now, if somebody was in the struggle and they came to our house, they would say, "Oh, you're wealthy. You have two fancy cars, you have this massive house. Oh my God, your life is so different from mine." But if I broke down the economics of it, you would realize the distance isn't as great as you think. I could say, well, our mortgage is 2,500 dollars a month, so a person with a side hustle could cover that mortgage, even with a business that wasn't all that successful. Like, you can have a mediocre business that's just making 2 or 3 thousand a month. That's enough to pay this mortgage for this house. Doesn't pay for everything, but it's a start, right? Housing expense is the largest single bill that most people have. Or let's say your goal is to save or invest 2,000 a month. Well, now saving and investing is easy. Most of the time, I see people when they talk about trying to get ahead financially or create a surplus, they start thinking about cutting. Like, I'm gonna cut this and cut that and go through my budget. I gotta cut this, and they'll say, well, you got to know wants versus needs. So you gotta. But what if you just want everything? I think you have the right to want it all. I really do. I think you should. If you whatever you want, you should have. Because it's out there. You just have to be able to get it. The question to ask yourself is, am I willing to do what's necessary to acquire that thing? So here's a better way to frame it, in my opinion. Is like, okay, you're looking at your budget and you're like, oh damn, I gotta save 1,500 a month. That means I gotta cut $1,500 worth of expenses out of my budget. But if these are expenses that you really value, things that you really want to do, it sucks. It's depressing. Has anybody ever felt how sad it is to, like, be like crying, like, I can't get my hair done no more. I can't go to the movies, can't go out to eat no more because that makes me a terrible person, right? Like, it's, or telling the kids like, no, we ain't going to Disneyland. We're gonna go to the fair down the street, right? Like it's a crappy feeling. So the side hustle to me is the pathway to sort of replacing the crappy feeling with the happy feeling. You go from crappy to happy because you find a way to make that extra 2 or 3 thousand a month, and then what happens is you don't have to cut anything in your budget because now the side hustle comes in like a spouse or something. The side hustle is like, don't worry. I'll take care of the stock investments. I'll put the money in the portfolio, or the side hustle comes in and says, "I'll pay the mortgage, babe. Don't you worry about a thing." Right? And so, if you were looking for a way to do that, I would sit with people that know how to do that kind of thing. Like, I would just sit and brainstorm with family members and say, okay, what can we do to make a little bit of extra money? Don't sit down and always feel like you have to figure out how to build a $10 million business. Try to build a $10,000 business. How about that?